The following podcast contains opinion and commentary protected by the First Amendment and fair use. It may also contain adult themes, adult concepts, and adult language not suitable for children. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome back to my channel and your favorite cubbyhole on the internet. It is Monday already, and yet, surprisingly enough, the grist mill on the internet, that being, by everyone's favorite crazy, seemingly intoxicated Dewey the douche canoe attorney, Dingus the douche canoe. Dewey the dingus douche canoe? No, I think we'll just stick with Dewey the douche canoe.
The fucking douche canoe.
Almost forgot where that button was. Haven't used it in a couple days. He's at it again. But before we get to him, let's go to the good news. And this is just the filing. This is the application, the appellee's application for attorney's fees and costs. And of course, this comes from Clayton Echard via Woodnick Law for their time dealing with the dumbass who just can't seem to, I don't understand it. Other than he's just so narcissistic and delusional. He's in his own little bubble that only he understands. And, it's just bizarre. But anyhow, this is their response to being awarded attorney's fees and costs for them winning at the Supreme Court of Arizona. Dingus, that being David S. Gingras, Esquire, Laura Owens, former insane attorney. It's my opinion he's insane. He doesn't seem to be very rational. I mean, he certainly tries to be charming when he wants to be, but he's not very rational at all. That's my opinion. I'm allowed to have it, of course. But all of the antics they ran Woodnick Law through is just extraordinary. Not only the trial, but then, of course, the appeals nonsense where all the Rule 26 all the time nonsense. And then when he didn't get his way there, Dingus took it to the Arizona Supreme Court and lost again. 3 strikes, you're out, Gingras. Hear the call. The call is that 3 strikes, you're out, and the call is that you're being investigated by the State Bar of Arizona. Pick up the clue phone, David. Hello, ring, ring. Oh, I don't have a telephone sound. Well, smell the money, maybe. Smell the money you're losing, maybe should be what it is. But we have just the standard form application for fees, which total in the amount of $6,500 and some change. $65.9706 if you want the dollars and cents. And of course that is submitted plus court fees and costs to be paid by a certain date and to accrue the legal interest rate in the event of non-payment. How much non-payment and how much interest is going to accrue before anyone on Laura Owens' indigent side and bankruptcy, the Chapter 13 bankruptcy side of the equation, is going to pay anything? As some of you might remember, David said to Laura on one of his YouTubes, and maybe we can pull that clip and insert it here, I hope you don't pay Clayton Echard a dime, or something to that effect.
People are asking, when are you going to pay Clayton? Are you going to pay Clayton? I hope that you never pay Clayton. And there are people don't seem to realize that, like Donald Trump filed bankruptcy 6 times and Donald Trump is famous for stiffing creditors. I mean, it's the amount of people's lives that Trump has ruined. I saw this amazing TikTok thing about a guy who killed himself because he lost his business because Trump didn't pay him for a carpet installation. And it was, anyway, you're not going to kill yourself, but you're also not going to pay Clayton. You're not legally, people think he's going to put you in jail. We don't do that in America. If you have millions of dollars stashed away, he can go look for it. If you don't, he ain't getting nothing. And you could file bankruptcy or you could just not. But either way, there's no legal requirement for you to post a bond at any part of this. All that means is he can go after you and collect, but if you don't have the money to be collected because of yeah, well, then guess what? You get blood from a stone, or you don't.
So we shall see. The poor people. Oh my gosh, a big case and lots of financial risk, but will they ever get paid? It's hard to say. So there we are with that one. Now let's go to today's news, because there's today's news. Someone has the right to remain silent, But David lacks the ability. He certainly seems to lack the capacity to even process what that means. This is already archived. People are on it. Whenever he opens his Yap, things are getting archived because, as we know, Dewey the Douche Canoe likes to dirty delete things. It'll be up there to, harass and intimidate and troll people, and then he'll take it down. But this is up currently. If you capture the Gingras Law Office blog page right now, you can still get it, unless it happens by the time I get this recorded, edited, and posted. But here we have from Gingras Law Office, gingraslawoffice.com. This is his blog. This is posted earlier today. This talks about him being away. Remember his Twitter posting before he shut that down yet again? A one-way ticket to Florida? Well, now we know what he's been up to, and some people have actually called it, evidently. Let's do just a little dramatic reading, shall we? It is Monday after all, and we could use just a little pep talk. So let's read. We all have the right to remain silent, but should I? Well, this is a rhetorical question for him, but the answer is yes, David, you should shut the hell up. You're making things worse for yourself, just as your client did, and just as you did for your, former client. Shut up. Again, he has the right, but not the capability or the ability. He has no capacity for remaining silent. Will he perjure himself? Okay, all right. Let's get on with this.
2 weeks ago, I left Arizona. My plan? To enjoy some time visiting my mom in Florida for her birthday. On my way out of town, I deleted my Twitter account. It's been a tough year and a horrible summer. Turning off social media and getting away seemed like a good idea, and for the last couple of weeks, it was. But now I'm back, and I'm struggling with this. Should I remain silent or spill the tea? I can see both sides of the argument. For one thing, I get tons of online hate from a certain group.
He means anyone affiliated with calling out the problems and the criminal actions of his former client, Laura Michelle Owens, 7-time indicted felon.
When I don't talk, they have less to say. Don't feed the trolls. Life is better.
Well, what he doesn't know is I have plenty to say even without him. I don't need him at all. His former client, Laura Michelle Owens, is doing plenty enough on her own to have lots to talk about. So if his intent, as it seemed to be in the past, was to deflect some energy from her, it's not going to work. It's not going to work for anybody because there's plenty to say with all of her court cases. Forget it, David.
On the other hand, I have a lot of things to say, and, admit it, at least some of it is interesting. In the back of my mind, I want to believe the law and the truth still matters to some folks, even if it's only a small percentage of you. Since people are going to talk anyway, wouldn't it be better to include my version?
No, David, your version has been wrong. And your version has been not based in law or fact, to quote the ruling of a judge.
Yes, I know the cult hates my version, but that's only an additional reason to share it.
No, that's not the only reason to share it. I've got a million of them, and they could include being emotionally and or physically and or relationshiply involved with your former client. Which of those could it be? Or could it be all of the above? Lots of people are speculating. I have my speculations, and I suspect that things have crossed the boundary of professional lines. That's my impression. There's certainly an unhealthy relationship that goes beyond the bounds of ethics and professionalism for a client. It does raise questions, as it should.
What to do? For now, let's just say this. I'm mulling it over. I predict some interesting stuff will happen this week. Lies will be exposed, accusations will be made, wrongs will begin to be righted, justice will be sought. So do I talk about all this, or do I shut up? Maybe next week, the right choice will become clearer. Having said that, the bottom line is this. I still feel the same way. I'd like everyone to just move on. Seriously. But some wishes don't come true, and some fights are unavoidable. The only question is whether you shut your mouth and let the trolls win, or whether you attempt to cap a fire hose of lies with your own truth. What JFC guessed I was doing. Tiling Mom's porch, then seething.
From an ex-user, Bananagram4273. predicting what Dingus the douche canoe was doing, seething and muttering about Omar and Rule 26 under his breath while either tiling his mom's porch or sitting in rehab. Well, in my view, rehab would have been the smarter option for him, because that's where he should be. After rehab, he should be spending lots and lots of time with a psychiatrist and evaluating his narcissistic cluster B personality disorder that I believe he has. It's my opinion that he does, but I say that not as a practitioner of any kind, but just as someone opining based upon his behavior that he is so rather consistently demonstrated throughout a multitude of media presentations, be they those he orchestrated or those orchestrated by others like Reality Steve and Rachel Juarez, where he was an embarrassment to the profession. And Rachel was absolutely, she should have let him have it a little bit more, I think. But yes, he was disgraced in that entire presentation that ranks among some of my greatest hits on this channel. The edits of all of him sighing and grabbing his head and trying to interrupt Rachel and tell her how wrong she is and how right he is. He's just disgusting. I'm hearing Snake Chorus in my head. Oh. Sometimes Megan has the better tunes. Snake Chorus would be so applicable right now. What I was actually doing, tiling mom's porch and seething. No rehab. Again, an unfortunate choice. Oh yes, look, there's Tile. Who cares? And look, there's a cat, and its name is Buddy. So at least we have a cat picture. That's nice. And that's the end of his blog posting. Really nothing, it's a tease. He is such a tease. He is just a general tease. In addition to being, in my opinion, a scumbag of a douche canoe of a lawyer. And of course, a Dewey douche canoe of a lawyer. He's just foul. He's the used car salesman of lawyers, in my view. He's just gross. Makes you want to shower after dealing with him. So there he is. He's no longer radio silent, folks. He has the right to remain silent, but again, he lacks the ability to do so. He needs the stroke to his ego. His ego gets bruised when he's not getting attention. So we will see more of him, I am sure. He can't help himself. He lacks the impulse control. There you go. There's your Monday update. Maybe we'll see you tomorrow. Who the hell knows? If he's right, if there's more coming out, like maybe the Arizona bar has concluded something, and he's only posting this because something's about to hit the fan, and this is his way of getting in front of it. That's often how these things happen. It happened when Laura was posting shit on Medium and so on, and when he was doing all of his Twitter rantings and bloviatings and all of that, there was usually something just ahead of it. And this was sort of a weird way to diffuse it. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work because the truth is not on their side. But the truth is on our side. So there is that. And we'll see what happens next. This could be a busy week. Golly Moses. Hold on to your pants. If it is, it is. If it's not, I've got some other things I wish to talk about. Yes, there's more. There's always more. Until this case is over, and maybe even a little bit afterwards, there will be more. This case, the other case, and whatever else tangentially is related. Okay, folks, have a happy Tuesday. Pleasant Tuesday greetings. Most of you on the East Coast won't get this till then. Until next time.
David Gingras, lawyer with flair, took on a case, thought he'd get somewhere. Laura Owens spun a tale so wild, claimed Clayton's twin said she bore his child. In the courtroom swing, they danced their plea, but the judge saw through that false decree. Paternity suit, it fell apart fast. Gingras' bold moves, they just couldn't last. 3 strikes, you're out. Gingras, hear the call. Your case struck out, watch it crumble and fall. Laura's lies, they swung and missed by a mile. 7 No chance to restyle, jazz it up, now the gavel's gonna slam. Gingras and Owens caught in their own jam. To the Arizona court he appealed with might, tried to turn the tide in the legal fight. But the Supreme Court said no, not today. Your claims don't hold, they're slipping away. Judge Mata's ruling, sharp like a knife, called out the fraud that cut through their stripe. No proof of twins, no truth in the claim. Gingras and Owens, they're losing the game. 3 strikes, you're out. Gingras, hear the call. Your case struck out, watch it crumble and fall. Laura's lies, they swung and missed by a mile. 7 felonies down, no chance to restyle. Jazz it up, now the gavel's gonna slam. Gingras and Owens caught in their own jam. Then the law came knocking with a heavy hand. 7 felony counts across the desert land. Fraud and perjury, tampering too, Laura's web of lies the jury saw through. Forged a sonogram, spun tales under oath. Her stories collapse, no room for their growth. Maricopa's justice, it don't play no games. Now Laura's indicted, carrying all the blame. Oh, the saxophone wails, for the truth been told. Gingras swaggers faded, his case growing cold. Laura's dreams of victory, they're sinking in the sand. The law's got her number with the prosecuting hand. From the courtroom drama to the felony sting, this jazzy tale's got that bittersweet zing. 3 strikes, you're out. Gingras, hear the call. Your case struck out, watch it crumble and fall. Laura's lies, they swung and missed by a mile. 7 felonies down, no chance to restyle. Jazz it up, now the gavel's gonna slam. Gingras and Owens caught in their own jam. So let the trumpets cry, let the drums roll on. The tale of their downfall, forever it's sung. In the desert's heat, where the truth stands tall, Gingras and Owens, they took the big fall. Jazz